Hi everyone, Romy Heron, your developmental therapist. Today's topic is taking turns. Our toddlers often have siblings or playmates or visitors or others who would like to experience the same thing the toddler is experiencing. So it's up to us as caregivers to come up with a way to take turns, which is also sharing. And we want to build trust to make turn taking and sharing more enjoyable. How do we build trust in turn taking? Well, since toddlers have a different way of processing time, of measuring value, we need to create something simple that is visual and that all the children can adapt to quickly. For example, if new playmates come over. So this is a method that I used with my classroom when I was a preschool teacher, and some of my families also find it effective. So here's how it works. We'll start with two children who are playing with a lemonade sensory bin, for example. And the lemonade sensory bin has plastic lemons and shredded green confetti paper and glitter and measuring cups and straws and plastic leaves. And one of the children collects all the lemons and keeps them on the side. And the other child has one cup, but nothing to put in the cup. And the other child with all the lemons also has a cup. So this is not a feeling of fairness at this point. So if the child with the cup is content with it and is putting the green confetti in it and stirring it with the straw and pretending to put sugar in it, then it is fair from that child's perspective. So we could decide to guide the other child to share lemons, to offer them as an option, because we want both children to have the sharing skill. However, we don't ever want to force it if one child does feel that it's a fair situation. So use your judgment on that. Obviously, we don't want it to be someone completely taken advantage of, but if both children seem content with what they have in that moment, then just monitor the situation. However, if the child with the empty cup really would like some of the lemons and some of the other goodies, then we can come over and talk to the first child as well as the second and say, let's share the lemons, because when both of us can make lemonade, we'll have a lot more lemonade, and then we can switch again. So we bring a timer. It can be a simple egg timer, or it can be a visual timer, like the kind with the rainbow that fills in the circle. And when it fills in, time is up, and then we switch or we share lemons. And when that timer goes off, if the first child is not agreeing to share the lemons, then that child does lose their next turn with the lemons. We have to be very firm with making sure that happens, and we're giving the lemons to the other child for a chance. We're setting that timer up again, and then when it's the child's next turn, they're welcomed back in. If they come back in and they're a little grumpy because they didn't understand the ease with which they can share, we praise them for coming back. It's your turn again, you did it. And they start playing. Timer goes off again, and we switch. Now at this point, one of the two children or both may decide that they'd like to find their own equitable way to work out the lemonade stand. And that is great. If you get those wheels in motion and you're showing them an example and they're learning the concept that we cannot have everything in life and that someone else is next to you and may want to use those, that's what it's all about. So turn taking or switching with the timer. As a review, when the timer goes off, we switch or we lose our next turn. I do have a personal connection with this. I had a pair of siblings during COVID, and the online schooling was happening. So the older child had her study break. So I had planned for her to come in and have a music break with her much younger brother, who was, I think, 3 at the time. And because I needed to keep them distanced at that time, I had strings on the floor for their boundary markers. And at the beginning of the music time, we were playing freeze dance. At the beginning of it, I said, we need to stay on our side of the ocean. We need to stay on that side, their lines. And the music started. They were so happy. They were looking at each other with so much love and dancing. It was a wonderful moment. And the older child, about 10 seconds in, stepped over the line. And as soon as she did that, I should have enforced my own rule and I should have turned off the music. But because they were so happy to see each other and it was COVID shutdown, I made an exception. And so what happened, the next time we had music, as soon as she came in, she was 2 feet over the line. So I had taught her through my inaction on turning off the music, I had taught her that there is no negative consequence to breaking the rule that was set for you. So had I turned the music off the first time, they would have been very disappointed, but the next time I would have said, once again, what happens if we step over the line? The music goes off. They don't want that. Stay behind the line. So we need to be consistent when we set rules. And similarly with the turn taking, if we don't enforce the switch or the turn, there's no incentive to do it. Of course, the incentive of feeling good about sharing with friends, some of us already have that, but for those who don't, they may need to have a consequence in place. And it's our job to make sure that happens. So hopefully that transition tip helps. Turn-taking tip helps, rather. And let me know. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you soon.